What's going on, everybody? Jolt here from the Token Minorities, and I am back with the Week 12 battle of the GBA Season 8, where your Kansas City Giraffe Chiefs are taking on Cybertron and his Melbourne Rotoms in the final battle of the regular season of the GBA, also our final divisional rematch. So really looking forward to this game. Cybertron is one of those guys in the community, in the Pokemon community, the competitive Pokemon community that I've looked up to for a long time, and having the chance to play him twice this season has been really fun for sure. Really grateful for that opportunity, and it's been fun to watch him develop in singles as well. I think he hasn't really had much of an opportunity to develop in terms of prep in the format, as he's brought a lot of the same sets throughout the season, but that's because he's been super busy all season long. He's been all over the world basically while this season has been going on, so that's not really his fault. But just in terms of his singles battling instinct, I think he's improved a lot throughout the season, and it'll be fun to see how much he's improved really from our first matchup to this matchup here for sure. So yeah, this is definitely going to be a good match. I hope you guys are looking forward to that. Make sure to go check out Cybertron's channel if you haven't already. At least go check out his side of the video, as I'm sure that'll be pretty fun to watch as well. And with all that said, let's go ahead and jump right on into this matchup here, as my opponent Cybertron decided to bring the Mimikyu, Kartana, Ludicolo, Kingdra, Mega Swampert, and the Pelipper. The only change from this team compared to last time is he is bringing the Mega Swampert instead of the Heliolisk, which I'll be honest, I'm pretty okay with. Heliolisk was kind of a big threat against my fat stuff last time around. I pretty much would have had to lean on my offense to beat the Heliolisk set that he brought last time, as it was like Life Orb with a lot of really good coverage against my team. I think it might not have had Hyper Voice, so Mega Venusaur probably would have dealt with it pretty well last time, except he got me with that nice Destiny Bond Mimikyu last time around, so that's not exactly going to be around to deal with the Heliolisk. So I'm actually a little surprised for him to not bring that this time, as it really could have put in a lot of work depending on how the game played out last time around. But Mega Swampert's just another monster to worry about. Obviously, it's much more of a physical threat, and if I didn't bring very much grass coverage on my team, it really could have put in a lot of work. But fortunately, I do have a lot of ways to deal with that. Go check out the team builder if you haven't seen that already. Going to be linked down in the first line of the description below. Just to summarize the team that I'm bringing this week, I am bringing a Focus Sashed Breloom instead of the Choice Scarf set last time around, with the same coverage moves though, just 4-attack Sash with enough speed for a max speed Pelipper. This is just really good against him, especially because I don't expect him to have Stealth Rock on this team that he's bringing here. It could definitely serve as an early game anti-lead as well as a mid-game revenge killer if I'm able to keep my Focus Sash intact early on in the game. Then I am bringing a Seismitoad with a Rindo Berry, mainly special defense investment, with Hidden Power Electric knockoff for the potential Sliggoo that I guess he decided to never bring this season, and it's the Earth Power, Hidden Power Electric knockoff, and Stealth Rock is my other move. Basically my dedicated rocker, meant to switch in on Kingdra, any form of Kingdra set, and I can set up Stealth Rocks on it. Then I have the Celesteela, which is mixed defensive with leftovers, I guess leaning a little bit towards special defense for my Beast Boost, with Leech Seed 3 attacks. The 3 attacks are Heavy Slam, Giga Drain, and Air Slash, just good coverage against this team. Then I have the Hydreigon, which is Assault Vest with more HP investment than last time around, packing U-Turn, Flash Cannon, Draco Meteor, and Dark Pulse, just really good and hard for him to switch into. Gets me nice momentum on the Ludicolo as well as needed. Then I have Mega Venusaur, which is very similar to Celesteela. It is Leech Seed 3 attacks. I opted for Leech Seed over Synthesis because I don't think I'm going to be able to lure the Pelipper in this game. It's going to probably stick around for a while, so I didn't really feel like Synthesis was as worthwhile as something like the Leech Seed might be, when Leech Seed gives me an opportunity to potentially bypass Mimikyu's Destiny Bond shenanigans. So that was the idea behind that, and then I have pretty much the same Gardevoir as last time as well, with a little more special attack investment. It is Choice Scarfed with Trace, so I can trace his Swift Swim and outspeed anything on his team whenever I need to. So that's the team for this week. In terms of the lead matchup, I'm going to lead Breloom. Based upon what he brought, I felt like it was overall the best possible lead. I thought he might decide to lead off with the Pelipper this time around, and that kind of made me want to lead with my Seismitoad, but overall I think it's just a little bit safer for me to lead with Breloom, just in case he decides to lead off with something that my Seismitoad wouldn't want to deal with, maybe the Ludicolo, maybe the Kartana. Either way, I felt like Breloom was just a safer lead overall against him. So we can go ahead and jump on into this match. Once again, thank you to Under the Radar for recording my my game for me, and to Raptos, I believe, who genned my team for me for this week as well. So with all that said, let's go ahead and jump right on into this match, and we'll see what Cybertron decides to lead with, as he is going to issue that challenge. And what we're going to see here in just a second is that he decides to lead off with his Mimikyu, as I lead off with my Breloom. Now, I know I probably need to switch up. Mimikyu is a pretty bad matchup for my Breloom in terms of Elite, but I do have a really good switch into this, which is my Celesteela. I don't care what he goes for. He can go for a Will-O-Wisp if he wants to. I really don't care. I wanted to just get this thing in on this turn because it allows me to get off a Leech Seed, allows me to maybe break his Disguise if he wants to stay in. Basically, I'm able to get off damage against him and scout out potentially what his item is here on turn 1 by making this play. As he does just go for the safe play rough, I take it very well, and he takes Life Orb damage, revealing he's going to be weakening himself throughout the game, which was kind of as expected here. So here he goes straight into his Pelipper, which is a good play. I'm just going to fire off an Air Slash to potentially break the Disguise on the Mimikyu, or maybe catch the incoming Ludicolo, which otherwise could be a pretty good switch into this, but I missed the Air Slash, which, honestly, I'm really happy I missed that Air Slash, and I'll tell you why. That's because I missed my Air Slash now in a game that doesn't matter at all, instead of missing it in the playoffs, knock on wood. That's kind of the reason why I'm happy I missed that one, is now he's going to go straight into his Kingdra, as I fire off a second Air Slash, which I am really happy with as well, because he goes into Kingdra early in the game, allowing me to go into my Stealth Rocket early in the game too, and I'm going to be able to execute this game plan I think that I really wanted to when I was building this team, and that was to get up Stealth Rock early in the game to keep that pressure on his mons and then try to win with my Scarf Gardevoir in the late game. So I'm just going to go into my Seismitoad as he fires off a Surf. Obviously, it doesn't affect me because of my Water Absorb, and now he's just going to take this opportunity to fire off a very strong Draco Meteor against my Seismitoad, but because of my investment, I know he can't 2-hit KO me with any 2 attacks from a Life Orb, especially offensive Kingdra, so I'm able to get up my Stealth Rocks here, and knowing I can survive whatever this next hit is as well. I am just going to go straight for the Earth Power. I strongly contemplated going for the knockoff, but I opted to just go for the route of attacking what's in front of me. Like I said before, I don't think I said that, but I want to attack what's in front of me here throughout this matchup, just because I feel like it's pretty heavily in my favor, just at a team preview, so I felt like that was just my best option here. So I just go for the Earth Power. He chooses it up pretty well, and now I'm going to pull the pretty safe switch into my Hydreigon, expecting him to go for a Surf, as he actually fires off a pretty strong Hydro Pump in the rain, but because of my Assault Vest on this bad boy, it does pretty much 0, so Hydreigon is able to chew that up. Now I'm just going to go for the U-turn. Don't really care if he goes for an Ice Beam, which he does decide to do, as I know I can take that very well and stay outside of range of a Shadow Sneak from Mimikyu at +2, so I'm able to get off that nice chip damage against the Ludicolo. And what this means now is with Stealth Rock up, next time I force out Ludicolo and it tries to come back in, it cannot switch into my Gardevoir's Moonblast, so that's really good for sure, as now I'm going to go into Mega Venusaur, basically to pressure him into losing a Pokemon here. Because I Mega Evolve, he can switch out into Mimikyu if he wants to. He takes Stealth Rock damage, he risks a Poison from the Sludge Bomb, and just in general, I beat the Mimikyu switch in 1v1, which was the play he made last time in our first matchup. Instead, this time around, he decided to just go for a little bit of damage on my Mega Venusaur with his Ludicolo as I take him out with the Sludge Bomb. So we are able to get rid of this monster here before it's able to do too much work against my team. The rain stops, so now it's a very easy switch into Pelipper for him, so that's pretty convenient, as Pelipper was his best offensive way to deal with my Mega Venusaur potentially. As what I'm going to be able to do now, I believe, is go straight into my Seismitoad, as it's the most expendable member of my team at this point in the game. It's already done its job. It took a hit from the Kingdra, it got up Stealth Rock. Kingdra is sufficiently weakened at this point, so I don't really need the Seismitoad. Plus, if he is not an invested Pelipper, I should be able to take this Hurricane as well, and I do barely take it. He might have had a little bit of investment, I'm not entirely sure, but I did take it. He confuses me, but fortunately I'm not going to get fully, or I'm not going to hit myself in confusion here in this sequence of plays, as I am just going to go straight for the Hidden Power Electric, attacking what's in front of me once again, just in case he decides to leave his Pelipper in to try to take me out, maybe thinking he outspeeds me, as the Mega Swampert was a good switch in there for sure, as it doesn't affect him, the Hidden Power. So now he's going to Mega Evolve. I'm expecting him to just go for a Power Punch. Even if he does do that, though, I'm not too concerned, because I can always check it with my Gardevoir as well, as he actually goes for the Stealth Rocks. So now my Breloom's Focus Sash is broken. That kind of sucks. So Breloom's going to be a little bit less useful now. It's still useful, but it's not the potent threat that it could have been if he didn't get Stealth Rock up in this matchup, but that's fine, as I am able to get off a pretty good chunk of damage with my Seismitoad's Earth Power, and he takes me out with an Ice Punch, revealing he probably does not have the Power-Up Punch. Now, I'm in a position where I could go into my Celesteela. I think maybe I can take a hit, get off the Giga Drain, and knock this thing out, but I decided to go for the route that would cause me to lose less HP on my Celesteela. I also decided to not go into like Mega Venusaur here because he still has that Kartana in the back, and I don't want my Mega Venusaur to take unnecessary damage from the Kartana just in case it is Choice Scarf. And the way he's playing it, I think it could be Choice Scarf. It still could be that sub-SD variant that he's brought a lot throughout the season, but even so, I'm going to play it safe just in case he is Choice Scarf with my Mega Venusaur. So he goes into the Mimikyu on my Gardevoir's Energy Ball, which was a good play. It's a good offensive switch, and it forces me to switch out here and go straight into my Celesteela once again, which now with Stealth Rock on the field, it's not as free of a switch into this Mimikyu. I still take the Shadow Claw, like, really well, but yeah, I take the Stealth Rock damage in addition to that now, so it's not going to take as many hits as it would have been able to otherwise. Now here I make a little bit of an over prediction. I probably should have just attacked this thing with a Heavy Slam right away, but I thought he might try to pull a switch into something else, and if he did do that, I wanted to get a little bit of health back on this Celesteela. I thought he'd go into Pelipper specifically on that turn, actually, and he actually decides to stay in with the Mimikyu, potentially sacking it off, which, I mean, that's fair enough. I do get enough health back here to where I know I can take even a critical hit Shadow Claw, I believe, from this range, so I'm not too concerned here, as I am just going to go straight for the Heavy Slam now as he goes into the Swampert. That was also a play I thought he might have made last time as well, since I knew he had exactly one turn of Rain left, where he would have been able to go for a pretty strong Waterfall against my Celesteela if he made that immediate switch into Swampert, but instead he makes it on this turn. The Rain stops, so ultimately this works out pretty well for me too, because now that there's no Rain to boost his Waterfall, I know I can take the Waterfall here as well. And as you can see, Mega Swampert is very strong. That actually did a lot of damage, but I am going to be able to survive and knock out the Mega Swampert with Giga Drain, which caught him off guard, I think, this time around, as I didn't have Giga Drain in the previous matchup. So Mega Swampert goes down, but the Rain is gone. Another very easy opportunity for Cybertron to go straight into his Pelipper. But the good news is I just got a Beast Boost in my special defense, okay? So with Pelipper comes in, it can't kill me unless it's heavily offensive invested, or has Hydro Pump. So I'm able to switch into, or he goes into his Pelipper. I know I'm going to be able to take any hit, really, from this thing, and I can just go for an Air Slash and put this thing into a range where it can't switch out again, unless it wants to die upon re-entry to Stealth Rock. So basically, this just means this is the end of his reign for this match if he decides to attack me with the Pelipper, which he does decide to do, and he goes for the Scald. I survive it relatively easily and get burned. Not a big deal at all, as I'm going to sack off my Celesteela here, knowing that I can check this Pelipper with a lot of other mons on my team, as he just takes me out with the Scald. I'm going to go into my Breloom here, just because he can't switch into it, quite frankly. I can just go straight for the Bullet Seed. I really wish he didn't have those rocks up. That really sucks that he brought the Stealth Rock here in this game. But even so, I know I can outspeed this thing, so I'm just going to fire off the Bullet Seed. Down goes the Pelipper. Breloom finally pick up another kill. It's been a little while, I think, since I got a kill with Breloom. I haven't had the best Breloom matchups, unfortunately. But Kingdra is going to come in now instead of the Mimikyu. Now, he probably thinks I'm still Choice Scarf, and that's why he decides to go into his Kingdra here. His best play would have been to go into Mimikyu, but he had no way of knowing that I wasn't a Choice Scarf Breloom. So I think, given what he knew, the Kingdra was his best play, and I'm able to pop the Mach Punch and knock out the Kingdra. So that's really good there for sure. As now he goes into the Mimikyu, and my best play now is just to sack this thing off, because I see an in-game. I know I can win this game no matter what, as long as I don't choke here in the in-game against a potential Scarf Kartana. So my Breloom goes down, and I still have the Hydreigon at enough health to where I can take any hit from this Mimikyu, and he can't switch in his Kartana. I have enough special attack investment on this Hydreigon to knock out Kartana in one hit if he wants to make that aggressive switch in here. As I fire off the Dark Pulse, down goes the Mimikyu. Now the Kartana is either sub-SD, SD, 3 attacks, or Scarf. Regardless, my best play is to leave my Hydreigon in here. If he is a Scarf variant, he knocks me out with a what's it called? Smart Strike here on this turn, or he just goes for a Smart Strike regardless. If he is Choice Scarf, my best play is to go into my Mega Venusaur first, because if I go into Gardevoir and he gets a second Beast Boost, then he could actually sweep my entire team by knocking out my Mega Venusaur at +2 attack. And yeah, and if he is like sub SD and I go into my Mega Venusaur and he like reveals something like his Z Psycho Cut and maybe knocks me out here, then I can always check this thing with my Gardevoir here on the last turn of the game, knowing I'll actually be able to outspeed it. It turns out he was Choice Scarfed Kartana. We're able to take the +1 Smart Strike with the Mega Venusaur, and we are able to knock out the Kartana, giving the KC Jirachiefs a 2-0 victory over Cybertron in what was actually a really good game. That was a crazy game. I think that actually was closer, honestly, than the previous one. I thought his prep was really good in this game, and it wasn't like too creative necessarily for the prep, but I thought he brought the right threats. I was a little skeptical at Team Preview when I saw the Mega Swampert over the Heliolisk, because I thought my team had a lot of ways to deal well with the Mega Swampert, but the fact that it was a Stealth Rocker, Mega Swampert really put him in a good position. I think it gave him a chance. I think if he was able to somehow weaken Mega Venusaur just a little bit more, he definitely could have won the game with Kartana, but fortunately I was able to keep that thing healthy enough to the point where I could take a +1 hit from the Kartana and pull out the victory in the end. So really happy about that game. Great game to Aaron. Again, make sure to go check out his side of the match on his channel. Not sure if that's up yet. Do want to apologize that this video is going up late. I probably should have apologized earlier because some of you probably already clicked off at this point, but if you're still here, thanks for watching. And yeah, I apologize this is going up late. Yesterday was obviously Easter. I wanted to spend that with family instead of creating a video, so hope you guys can understand that. But yeah, as for the question of the day, just a bit of a, I guess, a summary question over the entire season. What's been your favorite Pokemon to see me use? To see what's been your favorite Pokemon on the team this season? I think I've used a few underrated threats. The Breloom, the Gardevoir, especially. I think I've been two that I've enjoyed using a lot, and I don't really see too many people drafting those, or at least not too many people like drafting them and using them really well. So yeah, let me know what you think. What's been your favorite Mon to see on the KC Jirachiefs this season? Interested in seeing that. And with all that said, we are set for playoffs. Our matchup will be against Lars, kind of like I expected, although it was pretty close. If you see the Lars versus Joey game, that's quite the game. Make sure to go check that out, as that could have impacted who our playoff opponent was. Or that did impact who our playoff opponent was. And yeah, that was a pretty interesting game, but we do have Lars in the playoffs. I believe the playoff uploads are going up in 2 weeks, so you can be looking forward to that as well. So yeah, I think we're about done here. I'm gonna go watch the National Championship game that's going on tonight. I might have missed the first couple minutes already, so I'm gonna go hop over to that. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you all next time. Peace.